Hey guys, how you going? I'm Lecky.
I'm Aarvi.
This is season 1, episode 11. We're nearing towards the end of this season. And off the bat, I have to apologise. I've got a bit of hay fever, blocked nose, so that's why I'm breathing. Sound terrible. I'm breathing out of half a nostril. But today is a follow-up of 5 W's. Where, who, what, when and why. And the theme of the 5 W's today is high school. So it's currently December, the time of filming. So December's, a lot of year 12 young adults, I was about to say kids, have finished up at school. And a lot of them are going to be determining, the next path of their careers. And so we thought it'd be interesting to go back and give you some insight into, yes, we're currently physios now, but what were we doing in year 12? So a link below will give you a snapshot of what I was talking about. But today's going to be all about Aarvi. So I'll put him under the microscope and we'll talk about these 5 W's. Okay, so we're going to dive into some deep and dark secrets. Or not. So first W is where. So Aarvi, over to you. Where were you when you were completing your year 12 schooling? And maybe give us the year. Let's start off the year and where you were.
Alright, so 2013, I was in year 12 just down the road at Westbourne Grammar. So actually only moved to Victoria in year 11, so I did my VCE in year 11 and 12. The whole time I was actually planning I was going to be completing my HSC because I moved over from New South Wales in Griffith, and I finished up year 10 there, and then my dad got a new job in Beckus Marsh. Then we started looking around at schools, and the 2 schools that sort of sprung out were Westbourne and Beckus Marsh. But I just didn't want to live in Beckus Marsh area, so went and made the hike to Westbourne because it's closer to the city. And then, so we bought a house. So that's where I did my year 12, Westbourne Grammar.
So a nice local lad out in the west here.
Yep.
And around this time, so it's 2013, remember Aarvi's a spring chicken, he's in year 12. Who would be the main influences around that time? So who are you following? Whose ideas did you really gel with?
I don't know, tough question. At the time I was probably following more like just soccer players. I was really into my soccer.
Yep.
So I was biggest fan of like Cristiano Ronaldo, so everyone probably knows who he is.
Yep.
And who else? Was following the Australian national team quite vividly, and
2013 was Cahill still playing?
Yeah, Cahill only retired last year. Who was I? And then I was just this is probably my biggest, what got me into the gym really. Everyone's probably heard of Ziz. So unfortunately he passed away around that time, but he's the one that had YouTube videos. If you Google him, Ziz the Legacy, I used to watch his videos all the time.
Yeah, is he Armenian or something? Or
Yeah,
Russian or
Greek.
something? Greek, okay.
Yeah. So his brother's chest bra, if you know him, but
Yeah.
Ziz was like one of those guys that just told everyone to get in the gym to get shredded, and used to make all those YouTube videos and endorse like the shredded lifestyle. And I used to watch it all the time. I still watch it on the occasion. I would watch a video on the occasion just to spark some memories, and it brings up. And I listen to like his soundtrack on SoundCloud, because he's not his SoundCloud. The music he used to play in the background, and it just gets me G'd up. And that's where I got into my gym. So I was probably my biggest following at the time.
Well, so were you training at all, like in the gym, or?
Yeah, I was training in 2013. I actually did take soccer off because I wanted to focus on year 12. So I was just playing like a local, wasn't playing like at a higher level or like at a different club, just like more just kicking around, but wasn't. So I got into gym, and that's probably because of Ziz, and that's what I did year 12, study and gym.
Okay, so what do we know? So he was based out near Westbourne, so he lives nearby the school. We know that he was playing soccer, relocated, country New South Wales fella. He enjoys soccer, started getting into the gym, started following Ziz, and started to really knuckle down with school, VCE. So I think a lot of us can understand that too. We all sort of made similar decisions. Okay, so moving along, the third W is what? So in 2013, did you have an idea what you were going to do? You finished year 12, you probably had an idea of the direction that you were heading. What were you thinking at that time?
Yeah.
Did you have a job? What were you doing as a part-time job? Give us an idea.
So So the initial plan was to become pro in soccer. So, but as I started to get a bit older, started to hit the year 12, I'm like, I think I'm probably not going to make it because the competition's pretty stiff. So I knuckled down on my studies, and I did get a few injuries in year 11. So when I did play, I think that's when my injury started, because I never really got an injury back home. As soon as I moved to Victoria, I don't know, it could be the different pitches, I don't know, or just not my luck. I got my first real injury in year 11, and then a couple of ankle sprains, and I was out for a bit, and then so I was seeing a physio for a bit, so that's where it sparked my memory. I'm like, oh, at least if I don't make it, I can be working with sporting teams as a physio. So pretty much from there onwards, that's where I decided on to be a physio. So I didn't really toss and turn. It was pretty much, I'm like, yeah, if I don't become a sports player, I'm going to go into physio. And that's what I decided, I suppose, and that's where I'm at.
So what you're doing is you were studying full time, you finished up, so you weren't working part time or anything, you were just really focusing on your studies.
I'm trying to work. Nah, I don't think, year 12 I wasn't working.
Yeah, no, was I. So, a lot of us make the commitment to just stay in school and, tough it out. So that's a common link that Aarvi and I shared. Great. So moving to the fourth W is when. So when you got your results, your ATAR score, when did you prioritize the list of what you were doing, what you wanted to do for further study? So, you finished high school, it's obvious that you're heading towards university. How'd you go about prioritizing the courses?
Yeah, I think it was a very tough thing to look into, especially at the time, because you're so worried about the actual exam, VCE, and all the exams coming up. The last thing you want to think about what you want to do is after. So I think I feel for everyone that's going through that same situation or just have, because the last thing you want to do is, what do I want to do in the future? So I think early days I just jotted down what I wanted to be, what the main things were, and the rest I just filled in. I could do that. So there's a couple of things. I was watching a lot of crime shows. So I wanted to be like a detective or like a forensic. Like I was watching like The Mentalist, and I wanted to be like something along those lines. So I'll put a couple of those options into my thing, and the other thing was and obviously like physio, then all the different like osteo. Did a bit of like sports. Went the forensic, then I went like the medical side, and then I put like sports management and just filled it out. Then after my ATAR sort of came out, didn't really make too many changes. Maybe just twing a little bit, couple, because I'm like, if I don't get this, at least I'll get this. So my top 5, I was just gung ho on getting, and then because I think I did my physio at the top, and then put like a streamline, because I spoke to my careers advisor at the time to get into physio. So if I didn't get into physio straight away, I'd go into that and then try and get in for uni, and that's what actually happened. So yeah.
Nice. What did you do for VCE? Do you remember the subjects that you did?
Yeah, so this is a thing that threw me off the boat a little bit, because I came from New South Wales, so I pretty much chose all the similar subjects, and because all the subjects I was doing in New South Wales, like business, I think it was called business studies over there, that actually gets scaled up too, and I'm like, it'll be similar to business management, so I didn't look into the scalings, I just chose what I did there and what I knew and what I was preparing for. So I did biz management, but apparently that went down 4, didn't even know. I chose accounting, PE, math, so I did further math. Did methods in year 11, but just chose to do further. And then what else? English was compulsory, just did the normal English and no literature. And then what else? And biology, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. So you had some business sort of topics there, and then you had some health, so that kind of flowed onto the courses that you're potentially choosing. So FYI, we watch Criminal Minds, so it's good sort of to follow up with your shows, and then it can give you some insight into maybe something that you might think about doing. So you don't know who might inspire you. Great. So we know quite a bit about Aarvi. We're still in 2013, so we're still in the time machine. The 5th W is why. So Aarvi, you had put down your list of priorities for your courses at uni. So you got an offer. Why was it physio at the end?
So I actually didn't get the straight offer to physio. My ATAR was at 96. It was just a bit low. I got just 80, I'm trying to remember, 86 or something. So
Yep.
I was a fair bit off, but there were so many other options I could have went to, like osteo and all those kind of things. But I just thought if I'll just study a bit harder in uni, and so I went and chose applied Bachelor of Health Science, because that's what the careers advisor said. And then he said, then you can choose whatever you want to go into. Like if I want to still do osteo, or if I want to pursue like med, or like it was just more like a basic sort of thing, and still gave me a good understanding, and at the same time I could work. So yeah, that's why, because I was pretty gung-ho on going in physio, because every team has like at the time, like you don't really hear a team with like a chiro and stuff. Nowadays they are. Every team's more open to things, but at the time everyone just sports physio. So that's why I was like, no, I should just go into physio. Yeah.
Wow. So that was it. That was Aarvi's snapshot into his year 12 experience. He's a converted city slicker now, so he was a country fellow from country New South Wales. And I guess the theme of these 5 Ws is, it's to give you a bit of insight into what makes Aarvi tick and the context around some of the decision making, given the experiences that he's had. And then you saw at the other end that, he had his ATAR score that punched down, and, if you don't get in straight away, that's cool. There's other ways around, and he's pushing onwards and upwards. So 5W today was a success. It's our VCE version. The next one will probably be like about our university story, maybe at the other end of uni, what that was like. And we could go up, down, forward, back with this sort of thing with 5W. So I hope you found it really interesting.
Yes.
And do you have any closing comments? Is there anything else that you wanted to add? If you want to go back to your VCE years, is there one regret or one thing that you really miss about year 12?
The thing I miss about year 12 is actually like lunchtimes and recess, getting to spend time with all your mates. Now I barely even get to see them, because everyone's got different lifestyles. Some people moved out, and at least like I remember every lunchtime you'd play handball or downballs, whatever you call it, and just I miss kind of that kind of thing, and just having seen everyone each day, like the same people, was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if I had to give one big tip, don't be too hard on yourself, because I know that ATARs just came out yesterday or today. So don't be too nervous if you don't get the mark you wanted. Still keep pushing towards what you wanted to achieve towards, and you never know, because just choose a course and you can always transfer over into whatever you like. It's not that hard once you get into uni. It is like if you study, it's not that, like, don't just back off and think you're going to get in wherever, but just put a bit of hard work in at uni, and you actually will get in where it's like, if your dream is to go into med, just study a bit harder and you can get into med. It's not impossible. You just got to focus on that. So don't worry about if you don't get in with your first preference. You'll get there somehow, and you actually get more life experience going through other ways, because you learn more. You learn different things where other students went straight in, and you're actually a bit more mature, have worked a bit, and you get more experience. And when you go in looking for a job, that's what the employers usually prefer, because you've actually had some experience working. You could have done some working in that field to get more placement and stuff like that.
Yeah. Look, I think one thing for me, some sage advice would be, if I was to tell 18-year-old Lecky, 17-year-old Lecky to be in year 12, I would have said, just be patient. You don't have to rush to get things done and that sort of thing. Like, sometimes you can compare yourself to a lot of people, and you may see, or people may show, especially back then, there wasn't any Facebook or Instagram during my year 12 times, but you just sort of compare yourself. You're comparing ATAR scores, you're comparing courses. I'm 34 this year, and I finished year 12 when I was 17. So if I was to live my life over again, I still have 17 years, of learning and understanding before I get to the same spot, So I would have told 17-year-old Lecky to be patient. Things happen with time, and like I said, with experience, it's worth its weight in gold. So that's our 5 Ws for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. See ya.